We are Social Blade.
A lot of us are really super, super busy. So, it's hard to try to figure out how to market ourselves using the social networks that are at our beck and call, basically. And so what all Facebook has done is created a busy person's cheat sheet for Facebook marketing. And it is really, really interesting. Some of it you may already know, but some of it was actually great to uncover and might actually be interesting for you guys to find out in regards to your business. So we're going to dive right into it, because how to find demographic data, super, super cool, because you don't actually have to create an ad on Facebook to find out more about your demographic. What you just have to do is go in and you'd start creating it, and once you get to the second part of the ad that you pretend to create, it would come up with targeting. And you can see here in the right-hand side, it says estimated reach of that goal. And so that's why advertising on Facebook is super smart, because that's how much you would approximately reach in what you decide to put in. So if you decide to put in country, United States, there's your reach right there. Age 18 and older, and who likes Halloween. And that was under likes and interests. Get it? Demographics, likes and interests. So,
but if you, I was just going to ask, if you instead of putting in the United States, you put in Canada, that number would drop dramatically, wouldn't it?
Okay, so types of Facebook ads. Yes.
And that is our dig on Canada for the day. Continue on, Aaron Ryan.
It'll be interesting when you ask what I am for Halloween.
We won't.
Okay. I know. I'll tell you before the end, though. The audience will care. Types of Facebook ads. Well, there's only two, and they're the two primary ones. Now, one I'm going to quickly go over because it's called the engagement ad, but you got to be realistic. Do you really have $25,000? Probably not. Just for a Facebook ad? But that's the ad you see that are sponsored on your news feed, and you can see an example here of the movie Bruno. And I've seen it for the movie Sex and the City and for the Social Network, and it says RSVP. And, although you're putting down $25,000, it has been proven that it's extremely effective. The second type of Facebook advertisement that is called the self-serve Facebook ad is really unique. It's a great creation tool, because first you are able to type in the target of people by countless variables that no other advertising platform can provide at scale. Excuse me. So you can create an advertisement which targets all people who like your page or like San Francisco, for example. So you can switch from liking in your local area if you're a small company, or if you want to go broader, you can. You have options, and that's why it's kind of neat to do multiple advertisements. Plus, it's a lot cheaper, and you get to choose the amount. The other thing here, too, is to keep in mind with your cheat sheet is responder demographics. So when you have an advertisement on Facebook, you will be able to go to a page that will give you a campaign report. And you'd want to go under report type. Under demographics, you want to click which one you want to have here at the bottom. So if you have a variety of ads, you'd want to pick the one you want to look at. And it will actually go further in depth into the types of demographics that you can then reach. And so this is why it's such a great avenue for you to choose when it comes to your company, because not only are you tapping in to finding out what type of demographics that are actually liking your page, you can also tap in on targeting those types of demographics. Okay? Also, there's reveal tabs, which this is the cool part. I really thought this was interesting and didn't know much about this, but now I do, and so do you if you didn't. What's cool about this is, as you may or may not know, Facebook pages have landing tabs, and so a lot of people will use that landing tab as a welcome page, or the page that they really want people to see the most, or encourage people to actually like the page. There is actually a tool that you can use that gives like a blurred vision to the back, to kind of like tease your audience to want to like your page, and has been proven that the reveal tab has actually increased people wanting to like the page because they want to see what's behind it. And curiosity got the cat, so why not us? So, I mean, that's naturally. We were just naturally curious, and that's what we want. So here's a tool that, and by the way, this is all going to be available on the Social Blade blog, so you'll be able to see all of the various tools if you want to tap into this. But you do have to know static FBML, which is something else that's on this list as well. Static FBML, if there's any application out there, if you know a little bit of HTML, which, I mean, a lot of people are more advanced now with CSS, but just a little bit of HTML, and you can even use resources to go and reference back to them. You can use static FBML on Facebook, and you can create custom tabs. So, you know, you have to have static FBML before you can go to reveal tabs, but it's not that difficult. Profile photo hacks. So, you know, basically what this is you want to make sure that the profile picture or banner on your page is nice to look at. People want to see something that represents your company, and you want something that represents your company that looks really good and, you know, has a part on there that basically sums up who you are and what you're about without them having to click all over the place. Merging places with pages. So there's a number of examples of companies who have integrated Facebook Places into their marketing strategy. And this has been proven to be really great because once you are integrating it as a business, Facebook Places for your business, and you're able to check out the guide here that they have a link to. It helps people to know what you're doing with your business, where you're going, what charity events you're attending or sponsoring, or baseball, or whatever it is that you're taking part in. If you're having a barbecue and it's not on your dealership, you want to have it somewhere else. There's other creative things that you can do to market yourself and use Places to do that, okay? And Facebook promotions. So, you know, there are strict rules on Facebook in regards to contests and giveaways, but contests and giveaways are really great when it comes to getting people to get involved in your page. It's not always the best way to get people to like your page, because how genuine is that? But if you already have a strong community, contests and giveaways are a great way to go. And what they've done here with All Facebook as well is they've created a Facebook marketing dictionary all in one place, which I think is really neat and really something we all want to tap into, especially if you're involved with businesses. So it tells you all about what is a reveal tab, what is a CPF, an AR, CPC, CPM, all those things.
Overload.
I know, right? I was like, woo! Okay. So you want to post images and videos. It's been proven that videos and images create more people to want to become a part of your page. That has been proven time and time again, and I'm sure if you own a page yourself, you've seen it. Facebook social plugins. You want to add that to your blog or website. You want to add these three things: the like button, the fan box, and you want to be able to have another social plugin that companies are dramatically increasing their engagement on their site and traffic. So you want to have the like button, the fan box, which I don't know why it's still called the fan box, but it's to show that how many people like your page. And you also want to have the plugin that shows your Facebook feed. And that's it. Pretty simple. There's a lot more links involved here, but if you okay.
Oh, go ahead, Aaron. I'm sorry, I thought you're done. Continue.
I'm almost done, I promise. No, I was just gonna say, if you really want to understand Facebook marketing better, and if you want to market yourself, because like Facebook is really going towards business orient. So you want to be able to tap into that. You want to be able to use it for your business, and you want to be able to understand it, because there's no doing it if you don't understand it. And this cheat sheet will help you do that with less time spent on trying to figure it all out. JD, take it away.
I was going to say, what I would recommend for our audience, as well as for our readers of the blog, would be for you to create a Social Blade Facebook marketing cheat sheet that's even shorter and more concise than the cheat sheet that All Facebook had created. The reason I say that is because sometimes having an understanding of what things are and why they work and all that, that's good, but sometimes it's just a matter of putting together a step-by-step, okay, so you want a good Facebook page, do this, and this. Here's how you do them. Here's the links, the appropriate links to get them done, and, boom. You don't have, without having to explain why they work or how they work. That would be, to me, that's the ADD cheat sheet version that I like. If a company were to use a cheat sheet when they're doing their revamps, for example, then they wouldn't have a debacle similar to what happened with Dig version 4.
I got a quick question.
Shoot.
Have any of you even clicked on one of those ads in Facebook?
See, he missed his cue again. I can't
know.
believe he missed his cue again.
I know.
He wasn't listening. I cued you, and you missed it.
You did miss it. But yeah, I will answer that question for you, Jeff, because I'll tell you, it's not about clicking on the ads, it's about liking them. So
yeah, but I don't even mess with that stuff on the Edge. I mean, I've never clicked on anything on the Edge.
I have on the Edge. I have when it shows something because it taps into my interest, and then it'll have a little like button with it. I'll click that like button. I'll have Facebook make money, but that's what a lot of people do, and that's how they make their money, and that's the social.
It must be the minority, but I've never clicked on anything.
I've never clicked on any either, though.
Guys, don't forget, though. Look, hey, hold on. Before we go much further, keep in mind you both represent a portion of the quote-unquote tech and/or social media elite.
Yeah.
If you're talking about does Facebook advertising work, if it didn't work, I assure you, Facebook will be in trouble because they have too much of an infrastructure problem, too much concern to where basically Mark Zuckerberg would not be worth $6.7 billion if it wasn't for that fact. So I would say that it's not a minority that literally maybe a minority if you're talking 50-50 spread, but even if 30% of active users, and we're talking about approximately 100 million in the United States active Facebook users, even if 30% were clicking on one ad a month, that's money. Yeah. And that's something that both Facebook can tap into as well as people who are advertising on Facebook. If you have a compelling Facebook ad, and I've been looking into it, it's funny, I've been looking into Facebook ads literally just the last 2 days. And I can see the way that they do the targeting on it, it can be extremely compelling. I mean, you can break it down. As long as you have at least 20 people, you can break it down to where excuse me. You could break it down by interest. So if you are only going after
sexual orientation, correct?
Technically speaking, we won't even go there. That's a whole other topic, and you'll set me off for an hour about that. Technically speaking, yes, you can even target via sexual orientation. I tested that last night, and it can be done based upon interests. But with that said, that part aside, you can break it down to people in El Reno, Oklahoma, who like Little League football, and you can get that specific, and it'll actually show you that there's like 42 people that have Little League and football as their interest that live in El Reno, Oklahoma, and you can target just those people, and you can do a minimum bid of $1 a day. So for $30, you might be able to pick up. I'm going to go off on a whole different tangent, and that's the wrong thing. Aaron, I have to ask, what are you dressed as?
Okay.
I must know.
I'm going to tell you because it's really starting to get quite warm with 2 weeks on. But first of all, I'm a brunette. I'm as a brunette, okay? Secondly, I'm a Canadian brunette. And then thirdly, you can't see now because they're probably all mixed together, but what has happened to my screen? Oh, that's my hair. Yeah. On my eyes, I made the eyeshadow go all like rainbows, so I have double rainbows.
Double rainbows. That is exceptionally clever, and I am glad that I asked. I was going to literally wait until the end to ask, but now I am glad because that puts a whole new meaning to the way that you're dressed. The amount of thought. Like at first, my first thought was this was just a hey, grab whatever's available, toss it on, and that's my outfit, which I've done many times, even when it's not Halloween. But now I see that you put thought into it. That is very impressive. I am pleased with that. Definitely speaking. So yes. So Facebook. Bottom line, Aaron, if you would, I would love to see if we could put a Cliff's Notes version, an ADD version of what you just talked about with Facebook. That would be even better. So a cheat sheet for the cheat sheet.
Yes.
For the super busy person with ADHD who doesn't read very fast and gets 75 phone calls in every 20 minutes. Right one for me.
I'm definitely going to do that because, when I was looking at it, it's like, okay, if you do some kind of marketing, you're going to get it. But if you're not, it's not really a great cheat sheet for that. So I'm going to put something
exactly.
together.
Do something that's where you don't have to know what you're doing. Just if you start from A and get to Z and count 1 through 10, that you're going to end up with a good success, whether or not you understand why you did or not.
Invading the internet, covering Web 2.0, coast to coast, worldwide, and everywhere in between. This is where you put the social in social media. We are Social Blade.